everybody. Welcome back to the buy and sell. It is week 8, or I guess I should say maybe week 7 for some of you still on Yahoo. Kind of not really like a standard for what platforms are doing for the in-season tournament yet. It seems Yahoo has merged the previous week, December 2nd through December 8th, and December 9th through December 15th, while somewhere like Fantrax, it kind of varies league by league. Just for clarity, obviously this is for December 9th through December 15th. Week 8, I don't want to say for the majority, but for some of you, it is the 8th week of the season, so that's just what we're going to call it. And with that being said, let's just jump right into the buy and sell. Obviously, not a ton of scheduling concerns this week in terms of redraft streams or anything like that. So I'm just going to talk more in a broad sense what guys I'm liking coming up. So number one is going to be Tristan Da Silva. As everyone knows, Franz Wagner just went down with the torn oblique. The same injury as Paolo. And it remains to be seen what is going to happen in Orlando. Obviously, they're very good, right? Are they going to be able to keep this up without their two best players? Jalen Suggs is somebody that's going to go crazy, but somebody else needs to do something. Mo Wagner probably going to get some as well, but Tristan Da Silva is somebody that I'm liking. He's available currently in 97% of Yahoo leagues, only 3% owned at the time of recording. And yeah, I just the reason I wanted to include him here is just because he's, I mean, available for literally just about everybody, except if you're in a league with me. He kind of is a little bit all around in every statistical category, a little bit of assists. The defensive stats really haven't been there this season, but maybe in a higher usage role, we could see some of the counting stats ticking up, and then hopefully the defensive stats come with it. On this season, he's outside of the top 300 at 305, which obviously is not ideal. And his field goal percentage has been at 41%, which is not really something we anticipated for him. I kind of thought that was going to be a little bit higher coming into the year. The comparison I made for him, I've talked about him a bunch this season actually, was kind of a hybrid between Rui Hachimura and Royce O'Neal. And he's shown glimpses of that. And I would like to see a little bit more scoring from him with so many touches being vacated in Orlando. Definitely somebody I really like as a flyer, especially on this really low volume week. I mean, you can go for streams depending on how your matchup is looking, but I'm liking De Silva as somebody to take a flyer on for this week and next, just with how weird it's going to be. So next is going to be Guerschon Yabusele. He's so ranked 195 on the season. I know he just had a dud yesterday with Embiid in the lineup. Something that was really promising to me though is he did start next to Embiid. So it seems like Nick Nurse is really trying to figure out what works to kind of save the Sixers season. Yabusele is shooting 57, or I guess you run up to 58% from the line on almost 2%, 2 attempts per game, which is not ideal. But the counting stats have been really nice. He's taking, or he's making, I should say, 1.6 3-pointers per game, averaging 10 points, almost 6 boards, 2 assists, which is nice contributions out of the center spot. Not really something you're counting on, but it's nice to have it there. 0.7 steals and 0.5 blocks. Excuse me. And the field goal has been at 49. So, he's got center eligibility on Yahoo and Fantrax. Probably don't have ESPN in front of me, but he's a nice punt blocks, or maybe even a punt field goal percentage big, right? He's the type of big that if you're looking for 3-pointers out of your bigs, he's somebody I really like, and he could be that Embiid handcuff that we thought Andre Drummond was going to be. So if you're an Embiid owner, maybe that's somebody you want to grab and kind of stash on your bench. And maybe he is, I mean, not maybe, he is pretty useful even when Embiid is in the lineup, it seems. Like I said, I know last night was a dud, but in his previous games, he has been serviceable. The minutes have been there, right? He's averaging 25 minutes per game. Now, if the Sixers now want to get magically healthy and Nick Nurse wants to shake it up again, uh, you know, then maybe Yabusele is somebody that gets hurt by that. But it seems like Nick Nurse is really toying with rotations. Caleb Martin seems to be falling out of favor right now, in favor of Yabusele. And yeah, he's just somebody I'm liking. Again, as a flyer, that's kind of going to be the theme here for these next couple. Just really low stakes ad. A nice somebody you'd want to trade for in a dynasty league, actually, I should say, who could be really low cost or about free, depending on the size of your league. So Yabusele, somebody I'm liking here coming up. The Sixers do have that 4-4-4 playoff schedule. Obviously, I know it's way too early to be thinking about playoffs, but that's something to consider as well. Again, especially if you're an Embiid owner, because you know Embiid is going to be sitting back to back, especially that late in the season. And who knows where the Sixers are record-wise that deep into the year. And Yabusele is somebody that could benefit from that. So third is going to be Cody Martin. So it seems like Cody is kind of turning back to be the better Martin now. Caleb, it was Caleb for a while, or it was Cody before, and then Caleb for a while, and now Cody is looking really good this year. The Hornets are really, really banged up. We just saw Tijon Salon go down. Miles Bridges is still hurt. Trey Mann, LaMelo Ball is still hurt. Now with these low volume next couple weeks, they could get a little bit healthier over these next couple weeks, and maybe we see Martin's usage go down. But he's not really somebody that thrives on usage. His specialty is being able to contribute everywhere, very similar to Royce O'Neal. And statistically, he's been very similar to Royce O'Neal this year. And I would be hard to imagine. I, Royce O'Neal is owned in some leagues, right? So Cody Martin is going to be free in most leagues. And if you like somebody that can kind of do everything, a low end guy on your bench like Cody Martin, that's somebody I would target, right? So he's shooting 43% from the field, which is not great. The volume isn't so high, though. Over one threes per game and 1.2, 8.3 points, 4.8 boards, 2.4 assists. But what I really like is the one steal and zero point 0.8 blocks per game. So he's almost got the 1-1-1 thing going there for him, right? So comparing that to somebody like Jaden McDaniels, who doesn't have the assists, right, and has the uh, can disappear at times, right? Jaden McDaniels just has those nights where he's just running around a lot. Cody Martin's a really nice budget version of that, especially at the forward spot. And he has nice assist upside with LaMelo and Trey Mann out of the lineup. It remains to be seen how much Charles Lee is going to play Vasa Micic. He's been getting a ton of run. I don't think Micic is very good, and it's just out of necessity, obviously, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Martin is starting to handle the ball a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. I know KJ Simpson has been playing a little bit more as well as Daquan Jeffries. Jeffries is more of a scorer, though. And I would like to see more out of KJ Simpson. But yeah, Cody Martin, 179 on the year. Again, very low end guy, but somebody that can contribute on the end of your roster in nine category leagues. And again, I just have like just for some reason I'm drawn to these like low end guys who can do a little bit of everything. I mean, we've seen it, the first three guys are like that, right? And I like this. I'm more of a floor guy, and Cody Martin is really awesome floor. I mean, the just the steals and blocks alone are something. It's really hard to find that combo on the waiver wire, and he's there. So definitely check out Cody Martin if you're looking for I guess anything, especially assists out of the forward spot. And should be free in dynasty leagues, most dynasty leagues, and should be free in redraft leagues as well. So, like I said, that's kind of the running theme so far. But that's not going to be the running theme for number four. It's going to be Yves Missi. Yves Missi, oh man, remember in the preseason when we thought Daniel Tice or Carlo Makovic was going to take the center job? Yeah, Yves Missi has completely run away with it. So on this season, he's 167. But I do want to say, let's look at the last 2 weeks where Missi has really taken a huge step forward. He's averaging a double-double, 13 points, 10 boards. Almost one steal per game from a center, which is awesome at 0.9, 1.6 blocks, and then 1.3 turnovers, which is not great. Or it's fine, I guess I should say. He did have like a six turnover game a week or two ago, which was annoying. And he has a proficiency to do commit offensive fouls. But the turnovers is pretty irrelevant. Now, something I do want to note, his free throw volume is really high. So he's taking 4.6 free throws per game. He's making 56% of those. It's not good. You need to be able to eat the free throw impact if Missi is somebody you're targeting. But he's only rostered in 33% of Yahoo leagues. That is way too low. He's averaging a double-double with 1.6 blocks per game over the last two. Now, there's no reason he should be available in what is that, 67% of leagues. He's a bona fide stud right now, and there's I can't imagine there's many teams that can't use what he's bringing to the table. He's shooting 58% from the field. His minutes are up from, he's been averaging 24 minutes on the season, but over the last 2 weeks, it's at 28.6 minutes per game. We just saw Brandon Ingram go down with a pretty significant injury. Not that that affects Missi a ton, could get him a couple more touches on offense, but what it does is it just kind of plays into the injury issues that the Pelicans have been dealing with in what is quickly turning into a lost season. And Missi is definitely somebody they're going to want to prioritize and develop. It's not like he's going to be losing minutes or touches to Daniel Theis here at any point. So Missi is a huge, huge buy for me. Go get him like ASAP if you're in a redraft league. Probably any depth. I mean, I can't even, and even in 18 leagues, I have a hard time imagining you can't use a double double with one steal and 1.6 blocks on your team. So, Misi, go grab him ASAP. Dynasty leagues, I, I, I'm reluctant to say you should go out and make a trade for him right now because it's the best he's been doing in his whole career, right? His value is at an all-time high, but again, I would maybe see what the owner is thinking. He is a strong buy for me in Dynasty League, but I'd be very wary about the price. So I wouldn't pay something ridiculous for him. At its core, he is going to kind of cap out at that Clint Capella range. In terms of statistical output, it's not like he's going to start shooting three-pointers or anything. This is kind of his ceiling, this 13 points, 10 boards, 1.6 blocks. Just keep that in mind when trying to make a trade in Dynasty. But I'm really liking Yves Missi going forward. And then going into our cells, only one this week. It's going to be Buddy Hield and this kind of continues our running theme of Warriors in the cell category. Buddy Hield was incredible to start this season. He had one of the hottest starts probably out of anybody in the whole league, and he's cooled off immensely. He's ranking 143 on the year, but over the last 2 weeks, it's down to 255. He's ranking 255 the last 2 weeks. Threes are there. He is still making 3.1 on the season, but he's really not doing anything else. The field goal is not that bad at 44. The free throw is nice at 92, but he's only taking 1.2 per game, so that's definitely something you consider. And he's not giving you anything else. 3.5 boards, 1.5 assists, 0.7 steals. And no blocks to be seen. So, Buddy Hield, especially over the last 2 weeks, has just been really, really bad. He's 44% owned on Yahoo leagues right now. And in my opinion, is droppable, especially with how Steve Kerr is handling the rotation still. He's going 11, 12 deep nightly. And this is bad for just about everyone on the team, including Steph. I mean, Steph's minutes are way down as well, compared to what his normal minutes are, right? And it just kind of like, it whoever like who's going to pop off on a nightly basis is really just kind of up in the air, right? And it hasn't been Buddy Hield for the last 2 weeks. And when he's not hitting threes, he's not doing anything for you. And I guess maybe you can try and trade him off if you want to try and use the fumes of his hot start in a trade in a redraft league, or I guess in a dynasty league as well. But it will get better for Buddy. I don't. He's obviously not going to stay down in the outside the 200 for the rest of the season. At least I hope not. But he's definitely somebody you can drop in redraft leagues right now for a hot flyer. Even somebody like Tristan Da Silva. I don't know if I would take a couple of the other guys I mentioned, like Yabusele or Cody Martin over him, just because those are floor guys over ceiling guys. But picking up somebody hot like Tristan Da Silva, not a bad idea for Buddy Hield, in my opinion. Especially because Da Silva is, outside of the threes, is kind of doing the rest of what Buddy Hield is doing, right? I mean, he's averaging almost identical in rebounds and assists, right? And Da Silva is trending up a little bit. He's going to have a big role, moving forward, at least for the next month or two, while his Buddy Hield is kind of caught in purgatory in that Kerr rotation. But with that being said, that is going to round out our buy and sell for week 8. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on Twitter at Angle Fantasy BB. We are on Bluesky at Angle Fantasy BB. We also just dropped a podcast yesterday. We are ranking our we're reviewing 30 of our players from our latest Dynasty rankings. It's pretty awesome. It's over an hour, but it's all time stamped by player. So if you want to go in and check out a few players, obviously you don't have to listen to the whole thing. just because we know an hour can be daunting. We wanted to make it as easy as possible for as many people to get discussion on their players. That's why we did so many, and that's why we broke it down in timestamps. So yeah, please check that out. Like and subscribe, I guess. And thanks so much. See you guys next time. Bye.